from that day onwards, how much time you were giving each day to prepare for the exam?
Due to a lot of social commitments and everything, I was very barely making it to study on weekends.
When did you complete your one full reading of the entire content?
I couldn't even complete my entire reading. I only did
Okay.
85% of it.
So what I understand now, this is very interesting because, and you have
Yes.
not solved any chapter-wise question of any of the other books.
No.
Did you give mock exams?
Nothing.
Wonderful. Okay. Before going to the exam, what was the confidence level? Because no
All
questions
panic.
are
All panic. All panicked. In half an hour, I was like, nahi hoga.
Out of 100, how many questions? Roughly.
100. I sat for 4 hours. I suffered.
Hello guys, I hope everybody is doing good. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help students who are preparing for competitive exams in finance like CFA, FRM, ACC, SCR. And today I am with me one of my students who's been able to clear the FRM Level 1 exam in the last May 2025 attempt. And he's going to be talking about his journey of preparing for the exam, because we have seen a lot of students, they prepare on their own and they need guidance. And somebody who has already cleared the exam, they can share their journey, share their challenges, and how they manage those challenges. So the students will be that will be beneficial for all the students. So we have Avinash with us. Avinash, I hope you're
Hi,
doing
Ganesh.
good.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, thank you very much for taking out time and talking to us. And if you can basically give a brief about you, and before you started the preparation for FRM, what were you actually doing? What's your role?
In the industry, I have almost completed 8 years now. Started my career in Hyderabad with one of the top broking firms at the time, Karvi Stock Broking. I was an equity trader there, and then while working in that particular job, I realized that the market is very unorganized and I need to do something bigger. At the same time, I got to know about like OTC derivative market and everything. By fact, it is said that OTC is bigger than the listed equity space, so
Yeah.
that triggered me. But when trying to get into the space, I could not find any opportunity until I found one with State Street HCL in their Pune location. After getting into the role, I was doing the variation margining process, like one aspect of collateral management.
Okay.
And there I realized that it is very limited. So I moved again to Citco, my other firm, where I worked for almost 4 years, working everything in and out about collateral management operation. Again, the problem started occurring. I knew everything by now and I wanted to explore more, but exposure was very limited while working in ops. So I decided let's finally pursue FRM and penetrate further.
When did you started the preparation for FRM exam? Yeah.
So actually, I knew all these things even at the beginning of my career, but never got that push or energy channel to finally prepare and appear for the exam until when I started suffocating at my current job. Now that I knew for the fact that I had to do something very good in order to escape, I started exploring FRM again. And November 24 was the time when I enrolled and registered for the exam, started preparing for it.
So you started with us in November. From that day onwards, how much time you were giving each day to prepare for the exam?
When I registered it, I wasn't contributing much, 1 to 1.5 hour barely, but time went by. Like December and January started allocating 3 to 4 hours every day, and it also shot up to 5 hours on some days. Due to a lot of social commitments and everything, I was very barely making it to study on weekends.
So you followed the same order, the Excel order that I had given to you?
Yeah, initially I was running ahead of the time and studying everything on my own. But on one day, I asked one question about some calculation and you called me. Then we realized, okay, it's better to follow a path, structured path. And then the study planner that you gave me was proved useful. I studied by that.
When did you complete your one full reading of the entire content?
See, my case is an exceptional one because I couldn't even complete my entire reading. I only did
Okay.
85% of it, 78 to 85% of it. Reason I had a lot of personal commitments. I was also switching the job and some family matters, so could not contribute more as planned. But that entire reading, while I was doing it, I was watching the videos and reading the book, and I also tried doing some practice questions. But yeah, the time was less, so I could not manage well.
You solved the question bank also along with the watching of the videos and attending the lecture?
A lot of things were going on. I could not manage much time to solve question bank. I could barely complete the content itself. So I only could do some chapters of book 3. financial products and markets.
So what I understand now, this is very interesting because you have gone with around 80-85% of reading, and
Yes.
question bank you are saying like 5 to 10 chapters maximum, book three. And you have not
Yes.
solved any chapter wise question of any of the other books.
No.
Did you give mock exams?
Nothing.
Wonderful. Okay. It's okay. See, every student has their own journey of clearing the exam.
Yeah.
So by end of March, what was your
Mhm.
status? If you can tell us that.
By end of March, I was actually very confident because at that time still the things were going as per planned. Like I could do well in April and practice in like I appeared for the exam on 11th, so I had 10 days there as well. In April, things started going to the south, and I could not give it time. So by March, I finished my cons and everything, one reading, and I was getting every concept what you explained as you explained. But it is just that I could not practice further.
So you initially planned the solving in April.
Yes.
You were not able to allocate time as per the
Yes,
plan.
yes.
So that
I
went
had
for a
to go
toss.
home. I live in Pune as of now, and my family established in Bhopal. So I had to travel, and things happened.
Okay. But now on the 1st of May, okay,
Hmm.
before going to the exam, what was the confidence level? Because no
All
question
panic.
solving, no mock.
All panic. Even if I was going to solve questions, I tried to twice or thrice, but in half an hour, I was like, nahi hoga. It happens when you are not prepared well. You don't get that confidence to sit for 4 hours, even while doing mocks. You panic. I left
Okay.
the status quo and thought, okay, let's see what happens in the exam, and we'll
Okay.
recollect and replan after that.
Okay. Now one more thing. So in terms of the overall preparation journey, the way we discussed that you were not able to allocate time and the confidence level was also low. Did you thought of postponing the exam?
No, actually, I have a history of doing this postponing thing, so I didn't want to do it
Okay.
again. Like it happened to me twice in year 2018. I registered for the exam, but due to this procrastination or something else, at that time also job was going on. I was into
Hmm.
markets trading every day. Things could not happen, and I didn't even appear for the exam. It shows no show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then in 23 I registered with one of my friends, but then what happened, again got busy in life or whatever it is. The problem was I was trying to do things on my own. I realized it later. Like I wanted to self study, and being a commerce student, my quant side is not really great. Every time I used to start studying, that thing like pulled down my confidence, and then I dropped the study. So in 23
Okay.
also I did not study and just sat for the exam just for the sake of it. So
Okay.
this time when it started happening, I was almost like 80% I went through the content. So I didn't want to like postpone it. I just wanted to give it and see what happens, and if I fail I would appear. This was the strategy. After giving the exam, I started revising for November.
Okay, I'll come to this. I'll come to this. But
Yeah.
before going to the exam, how many times you must have gone through the Kaplan books?
Kaplan books, book three, I read thrice
Okay.
because it's in the nature. I was preparing for interviews and everything, and book three, like just common stuff, basic finance things, option call and everything, futures. So
Okay.
even if I was not going through it, somehow in my job and everything while training junior staff and everything, I was refreshing the content. So that was not a problem for me. The rest, anything I did not revise, sir.
Asha, rest all three books you did not properly revise.
Only one reading when I was watching
Okay.
video lectures of yours. Then only I was reading while doing it. Else, no
Okay. Okay.
revision.
When we talk about the actual exam date, you
Mhm.
went to the exam, you started solving. What happened in that first one?
I knew I didn't have much to like calculate and everything. Every concept that I studied and understood, I was not able to recollect because no
Okay.
revision. But what I started doing is some basic questions were there. I attempted those, and for the rest of them, where I have low idea or like I was low confident, like I started eliminating the wrong choices. I tried to eliminate the inappropriate like options as much as possible, and then the guesswork.
Okay. And you
Yeah,
must have done this for out of 100, how many questions? Roughly.
100. I sat for
How,
4 hours. I suffered.
how many calculation questions were there in your exam and how many theory?
Barely 20-25 questions for core calculation. And this time, I have been sight watching this FRM and CFA thing for a long time now. So I know the questions, there are some option related payoff. You need to calculate payoffs and everything. Question comes like that, right? I observed like approximately 4 to 8 question comes from those option and futures side. But this time in my case, there were no calculation from these chapters.
Okay.
So I
Which you
was
had
very
actually
shocked.
read.
Yes, which were actually right. One of my friend was also appearing for the exam on same day. We were really shocked because all the time we studied. Okay, these are the strong suit we could do here. Like if calculation comes, we can at least calculate the payoff and everything. But that didn't happen.
Okay. So the time management was a problem. I mean, even though you are doing the elimination, option elimination, and you're trying to understand which can be the answer, you were able to manage the entire thing in 4 hours properly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Time is sufficient.
And like you came out of the exam, you were confident that you're not going to clear.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to like acknowledge, but that was the case because if you don't study, how you are going to clear the exam? But in my case, some memory clicked or theory helped, I believe. If it
Okay.
were to more quant questions, I would have the results would have been different, I believe.
What is the quartile that you've got? Book one,
Very
book two,
poor,
book
sir.
three.
Very poor, but I would still tell you fair in foundation and risk, and then quant it was poor,
Okay.
and then financial products it was good, war it was fair.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's 3, 4, 3,
barely making it.
2, 3. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Very, very interesting. So this is the first one point that I want to highlight over here. So like in your case, I would not recommend that to do, obviously, but you got fourth quartile or slightly poor in quant, still you cleared. And in book two, book three, and book four, you had some level of good understanding. So you were able to pull the entire result from that
Yes, yes.
to a certain extent.
I think so. Yes.
What would be your advice to students? Okay, that what is the mistake that you did and they should not repeat?
Don't procrastinate. Study what you have planned for. Everybody plans, but nobody follows. So if you have decided to do some chapters in some time duration, make sure you finish those and revise as many times as you can. Revise, solve as many questions as you can. Solving questions would help more than the reading the content itself because you hit the key
Right.
concepts directly. That's the strategy I'm going to follow for my FRM to have already started preparing for it.
So, I mean, Avinash, this conversation will really help the students because a lot of students have fear, okay, that
Mhm.
I have not prepared properly, I have not completed everything. And I'm not saying they should exactly follow your strategy, but what I'm trying to say is that if suppose you're not prepared also properly for the exam and you're very close to the exam, you should not panic.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are already halfway through. You already my motto for appearing for exam, even if I was not prepared, was I already done this much. It was not like that I was not studying from like Jan to March, and even from November I was allocating on an average 2 to 3 hours daily. I didn't
Okay.
go anywhere. I was only studying before even breakfast. I was studying first thing in the morning. I used to study, so
Okay.
I thought if I won't appear for the exam, it will all go to like it'll be a futile effort. So I didn't want to do that. If I
Okay.
would have failed, I would have restudied. Already had started doing that. Like book 3 I already finished by the time results were out.
Okay.
When the
Okay.
results were out, I passed. Then I started like prepping for L2. So
Okay.
I would
Okay.
definitely say once you have planned for it, just stick to it and go for it.
Wonderful, Avinash. I mean, this conversation will really, really help students because, like I said, every student has their own approach of clearing the exam. Somebody is doing 5 revisions and clearing, somebody might be doing 2 revisions. As a student, you should be able to see what different people are actually doing. I'm really happy that you've been able to clear the exam and people will learn from the mistakes that you have done and they will not
Yeah,
repeat. So,
yeah,
thank you
sure.
very much, Avinash, for taking out time and talking to us today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.